Toyota is developing a new engine that it claims will change the entire automobile industry game. They are working with governments to create infrastructure and pursue emissions-free technologies. While the whole world is blindly racing toward electric cars, one company is quietly moving in a different direction, and that company is Toyota. While other automakers have accepted EVs as the only future, Toyota has done what no one else had even imagined. Their engineers have created an engine that is shaking the foundation of the entire EV market. Now the question arises, has Toyota discovered a truth that remained hidden from other companies? Is this just technical stubbornness, or is there a bigger vision behind it? Let's dive into the strategy that has added a surprising twist to the EV race, and it might just surprise you. Today, companies like Tesla, BYD, and other global leaders see electric vehicles as the future solution and are rapidly investing in that direction. Governments are also offering subsidies and policies to promote EV adoption. But the reality is, the world is not yet ready to fully transition to EVs. The biggest challenge? Charging infrastructure. Even today, many cities and especially rural areas lack enough charging stations. Then there's the issue of the rare and expensive metals used in EV batteries, like lithium and cobalt, which are not only costly, but also raise serious environmental and human rights concerns due to harmful mining practices. Moreover, the availability of electricity and the capacity of our current grid systems are major concerns. If millions of people start charging EVs simultaneously, the existing energy infrastructure could collapse. Electric vehicles also face limitations in long-distance travel, heavy cargo transport, and cold climates. So while electric vehicles are definitely part of the future, they are not a one-size-fits-all solution. Unlike other car makers, Toyota isn't jumping headfirst onto the all-electric bandwagon. While brands like Ford, Volkswagen, and Mercedes are racing to ditch gas-powered cars, Toyota is hitting the brakes and saying, "Hold up, let's think this through." Why does Toyota believe the world isn't ready to go all in on EVs just yet? They worry that pushing everyone toward EVs too fast could backfire, leaving many without affordable or practical options. So instead of chasing the EV hype like Tesla or Rivian, Toyota is taking a different road, one that says electric cars aren't the only answer. Now don't get it twisted. Toyota isn't afraid of innovation. These are the same folks who introduced the Prius in 1997, the world's first major hybrid car. That was a game changer. The Prius combined gas and electric power, paving the way for cleaner vehicles when EVs weren't even on the radar. Toyota has been innovating for decades, just not always in the way people expect. So why is Toyota dragging its feet on EVs? Some say they're just protecting their business. Others think they're onto something bigger. Toyota is betting on a mix of technologies, hybrids, and even hydrogen power, instead of going fully electric. They believe this diverse mix keeps transportation practical and affordable, especially in regions where charging stations and EV batteries aren't ready for prime time. Back in 2021, Toyota made a bold move that sparked discussion. At the COP26 Climate Summit, automakers were asked to sign a pledge to stop selling gas-powered cars by 2040. Most companies signed on. But Toyota, they said, "Nah, we're good." Instead of committing solely to EVs, Toyota pledged to continue developing EVs alongside other technologies like hybrids and hydrogen. They weren't ready to bet everything on one solution. This choice stirred up serious drama. Critics asked, "Toyota, what's the deal? You gave us the Prius, the hybrid superstar, and now you're slowing down on EVs?" People accused the company of holding back progress, but Toyota stood their ground. And here's where it gets interesting. They had some solid points. Toyota's argument? The world just isn't ready to go all electric. Places like California, the European Union, Canada, and Australia are making big plans to ban new gas-powered cars by 2035. And while that sounds fantastic for the planet, Toyota is waving a caution flag. The reality is, not every country is ready for electric vehicles. Toyota sells cars in over 200 countries, and many of them don't have enough charging stations, stable electricity, or the financial resources to support EVs. Imagine trying to drive an electric car in a place with no chargers or unreliable power. That's a recipe for frustration. Toyota is saying, Let's not leave millions of drivers stranded by forcing EVs before the world is ready. Toyota isn't just about selling cars. They care about mobility, making sure people can get where they need to go, especially in places where the power grid is unstable or gasoline is more accessible than electricity. Going fully electric might be a cool idea, but it's not practical for everyone, everywhere. Now let's zoom in on a key figure. Akio Toyoda, Toyota's former CEO, who led the company until 2023. He wasn't your typical suit and tie executive. He spoke his mind and stirred up the auto industry in the process. He made it clear that Toyota wasn't anti-EV, but he also didn't believe electric vehicles were the perfect solution for every driver. He wasn't afraid to challenge the EV hype, warning that pushing EVs too fast could create serious problems. While other automakers were scrambling to compete with Tesla, Toyota focused on improving hybrid cars, developing hydrogen-powered vehicles, and making better combustion engines. Rather than forcing people to abandon gas-powered cars completely, they explored multiple solutions that work in different contexts. Of course, this ruffled feathers. Industry leaders and environmental activists accused Toyota of slowing down progress. But Toyota didn't budge. They believed that combining different technologies, hybrids, hydrogen, and cleaner gas engines, was the smarter, more balanced way to cut emissions while keeping cars affordable and practical for everyone. Toyota is playing the long game. They're positioning themselves as the go-to brand for people who need options beyond just EVs. That said, let's be honest, it's a risky strategy. If EVs take over faster than Toyota expects, the company could get left behind. But if the shift to electric vehicles hits roadblocks, like patchy charging networks or rising costs, Toyota could be the one saying, "We told you so." Now, Toyota's planning to roll out a new 2025 crossover, and it's already got people buzzing. While most automakers are obsessed with going all electric, Toyota is cooking up a different plan, one that might just turn the game on its head. But to understand why Toyota is so invested in this alternative path, we need to look at the not-so-glamorous side of EVs, the hidden bumps in the road. Electric vehicles are everywhere right now. You can't turn on the TV without seeing a sleek EV zooming across the screen, promising a futuristic, eco-friendly ride. Governments are promoting them heavily and pledging to phase out gas-powered cars for good. At first glance, EVs seem like the ultimate solution to climate change and pollution. But there's a catch, one that doesn't get talked about enough. And Toyota isn't the only one raising eyebrows. Even many EV supporters are starting to ask tough questions. Are electric cars really as green as they claim? Can we realistically produce enough batteries for everyone to drive an EV?